I just learned that this year New York City Public Schools introduced a full pre-kindergarten to 12th grade all-black curriculum. When I looked through this book of detailed lesson plans, I figured it had to be only for black schools in Harlem or the South Bronx. But no, it's mandatory for all students, all 1 million of them in the biggest school district in America. Black students make up only that 24% slice on the right. Hispanics are the big 41% chunk. Asians are 17% and whites are just 15%. Whites will put up with anything, of course, but Hispanics and Asians must be irritated by all this blackety-black. The very name of the curriculum is a joke. Black Studies as the study of the world. What? Sorry, but if Africa disappeared from the planet, most people wouldn't notice. So I guess the school's chancellor, David Banks, who pushed this thing through, was being modest when he said, Black history is American history, period, full stop. The first lesson in pre-kindergarten is learning everyone's name. Teachers should be able to pronounce all names. Practice may be required. These days, that's true. In a pre-K lesson about the 5 senses, students will describe how objects connected to Black studies, African and Black cultures taste and feel. Still in pre-K, lesson 5 is Juneteenth. Children will make Juneteenth flags and talk about the horrors of slavery. This is a lesson for 4-year-olds, mind you. In kindergarten, students will be introduced to Adinkra symbols. They were used to decorate cloth and pottery. The oldest of these ancient Adinkra symbols dates all the way back to 1817. Beats learning the alphabet. And of course, every kindergartner needs to know about kente cloth. Moving right along to 6th grade, young scholars learn about King Piyi, the great Nubian pharaoh who conquered and ruled Egypt. Here are his warriors, crushing all in their path. Likewise, in 6th grade, students study this article about the white teenager who slaughtered 10 blacks at the Tops supermarket in Buffalo, New York. There's a cheerful 8th grade lesson on the Tulsa race riots, in which students get to watch a Black-produced, Black-narrated video about how awful white people are. Also in 8th grade, there's a whole class on Power to the People, the Black Panther Party's 10-point program. Among its 10 demands, free all Black prisoners, autonomy from whites, and the present value of 40 acres and 2 mules. First lesson in the 9th grade is Warrior Queens, Stateswomen, and Queen Mothers. This is the beginning of a video that is part of a grade 9 lesson on African communications.
12 want you to know I hate you more than you hate me. They really the threat, but that's how they try and portray me. When you spit the truth, they try to view it as hate speech.
In the 11th grade, more than half the lessons are on reparations. A typical assignment, lynching, white supremacy, terrorism, and Black resilience. In the 12th grade, lesson 4 is called Slavery and the American Economy, where you learn that slavery financed the American economy. But America is capitalist, so it has unemployment, inflation, poverty, and environmental impact, which only socialism will cure. Students will learn which companies profited from slavery and will reflect on what they think should happen to the companies or institutions that benefited from slavery. One reading is this: in order to understand the brutality of American capitalism, you have to start on the plantation. Grade 12, lesson 5, Black genius in the apparel industry. Major white corporations rely on Black creativity to reinvent their brands. Who's a Black genius designer? Kanye West, shown here getting an honorary PhD from the Art Institute of Chicago. And on this curriculum goes for 518 Black as can be pages. How is this supposed to help students? Here are NAEP achievement scores over the years for New York City, bottom line, orange, New York State, the purple line, and the US, which is the dotted blue line. New York City is at the bottom. miserable Black and Hispanic scores drag down the average. Stop the video and look at their numbers, as if you really needed to. Does anyone, and I mean anyone, really think Adinkra symbols and Juneteenth and King Pee are going to raise those scores? I guess Blacks do. Or maybe they just don't care about the white man's test scores. David Banks, who commissioned this curriculum, is authentically Black. Note the African decor. His predecessor, Misha Porter, was also Black. But it will be up to Melissa Aviles Ramos, who took over just last fall, to push this thing through. Why should Hispanics, who are almost half of all students, sit still for this guff? Well, it turns out they're going to get their own super-duper Hispanic curriculum. New initiative launched to develop Latin studies curriculum for NYC public schools. Latin studies? Latinx didn't go over, so I guess high-paid dopes are trying again with Latin. The New York City Council has made a profoundly important and historic investment in Latinidad. Yep, the city has splashed out $3 million to push Latinidad, whatever that is, and I'm sure a stiff dose of it will send Pedro's scores right through the roof. Actually, I'm delighted. Let Blacks fill their heads with kente cloth and Black geniuses. Let them be as African as possible. Let them disappear into negritude, and let Hispanics disappear into Latinidad. This will drive even more whites out of the public schools, another little step towards total disengagement. Remember the Black Panthers' 10 points? Number 1 was power to determine the destiny of our Black community. Go in peace, brothers, and leave us in peace.